Welcome to the NBA show. Man, we're happy to be here. It's going to be a great show tonight. The NBA. If you guys have not checked out the NBA show, well, welcome, because it's on right now. And right out of the gate with the NBA show, what I will tell you guys is that what we're seeing again, like we've seen many, many times, forget last year, we're seeing the dominance of LeBron James, Joe. And when I say we're seeing the dominance, we're seeing the dominance, Joe.
Hey, we all know that LeBron James is coming out for revenge. He called this season his revenge season, and he's almost averaging a triple-double, guys. So LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I believe, is the most lethal duo in the NBA, and the Lakers obviously have a great record.
How about Paul George last night coming back? Paul George last night, I'm watching this guy. Paul George looked like a beast last night. He just looks like he's stronger, faster, and can shoot the ball. We already know that. But he seriously, he just looks so strong and fast, and his energy level through the roof, Joe.
Oh, I completely agree, John. I mean, Paul George coming off that, crazy and catastrophic leg injury, and now he's looking like a baller. But the facts are, John, and I think, some news reports might be, who's really the man in L.A.? Is it Paul George or is it Kawhi Leonard? That's a good question.
Well, Kawhi didn't impress me much last night.
Same.
He just didn't impress me much last night. So I don't know, Joe, about that one. But Kawhi, they're trying to load management on this guy, so they're kind of wanting to reserve him for the end of the season. But I don't know, Joe. I mean, I don't know. Kawhi, definitely, if you were asking me last night, who I thought was the more dominant force in the game last night, I definitely thought it was Paul George.
Right, and Kawhi Leonard, look, Kawhi Leonard had that huge poster dunk on the Celtics big guy, and I jumped out of my seat. I was going crazy. But, yeah, Paul George looked very good, and he's guarding the best player. So that stands out to me, John.
Carmelo Anthony back in the NBA. A pretty modest opening night for Carmelo. What do you think about Carmelo back in it and with Portland?
I like it, man. I think Portland's a good team. They haven't been doing well as of lately, but Carmelo got the start, too. So he got the start, John. I think Carmelo Anthony's a good veteran to have on the team. He's obviously not what he once was, but having Carmelo is a huge asset to the Trailblazers.
I think he can be who he was near the end of his career because he didn't play any defense. He could post up, shoot the ball. He's there for threes or whatever. But to me, what it is where you can get Carmelo Anthony that can come out and actually give you something off the bench. I didn't think he was going to start. I think that right away they just wanted him in the game and just give him some touches right away. I think it was a pretty good move because right away you force the other team, oh, here's Carmelo Anthony. And he very well could have come out, and we've seen it before. He could have come out and just smoked everybody, Joe. So I thought it was a pretty good move to bring him out there.
Hey, I completely agree, John. But look, the standings, the Portland Trailblazers are 5-10. They're not looking too hot right now.
They're getting their ass handed to them right now.
Right, and they might not even make the playoffs, which is a huge surprise to me because I had them as a playoff team. I don't know what happened to Damian Lillard and McCollum. They got to get it together, man.
Right now, Milwaukee's beating up on them 62-47.
Right, yeah.
And they're in the second quarter basketball with 3:01 left, and they're getting their ass handed to them right now. So much for that.
Right.
Joe, what about some of the blowouts? I was watching a game last night. It was an embarrassing.
Oh, man.
50 points or something, Joe?
Oh, are you talking about the Mavericks Warriors?
Yes.
My God. I mean, the Warriors look completely depleted. Draymond Green didn't even play. Curry's out, Clay's out. KD left. So they really don't have anybody anymore. And I'm loving it. And look, the Mavericks look great. They look really good with Luka Doncic is almost averaging a triple-double. I mean, he is incredible. And can you believe, John, that he's only 20 years old?
crazy. I was listening to a radio show this morning on it, and they were talking about the youngest MVPs, and they started going through a list in all sports. If you combine them all, the youngest MVP ever was Wayne Gretzky. He was 19 years old, and then he won MVP again at 21 and 22. I mean, Wayne Gretzky. But NBA, the youngest NBA MVP, I forget who it was, but the topic came up because they're talking about this kid with the Mavs.
Yeah, and John, I'll tell you what, I believe he is going to be and going to break that record for the youngest MVP because, I mean, the numbers he's putting up, LeBron's posting them on Instagram and saying, look, this kid is for real. And for LeBron James to say that about another guy on a different team, that speaks some serious volume to me.
That speaks a lot. Looking back, hey, Ian, but I haven't had a chance to watch them much, though. Ian says, hate LeBron James, but was born into Laker Nation, so how about them Lakers? Ian, what is it that you hate about LeBron? Was he beating up on one of your teams for year after year after year? Was it the way he said he was taking his talents to South Beach? I don't know, Ian. You let me know. What is it you hate about him? What I like about it is how he takes teams that... And when I say he takes bad teams, guys, what I'm talking about when I say LeBron James takes bad teams and he takes them into the playoffs, and then he don't only just take them into the playoffs, what he does is he takes them to the finals 8 years in a row. And I'll tell you what, when you're doing that, you got my attention wholeheartedly. Because he's been on every team that sucks squirrel nuts. And there it is right there. Every team that LeBron's been on, minus when Bosh and Wade were on top of their game. But a lot of times, and I don't want to just say Bosh, because they had Ray Allen too, okay? But most of the times, LeBron's been on teams taking them somewhere. Their teams suck squirrel nuts. And it's plain and simple. Those teams suck squirrel nuts. And Joe, am I right on this when I say that these teams suck squirrel nuts, Joe?
I mean, look what LeBron did when he was in Cleveland without Kyrie Irving, without Kevin Love. And he brought them all the way to the championship. So when people say, look, he's lost like 6 finals in a row, look at the team he was on. And look at the teams Michael Jordan has had. Michael Jordan had one of the top players ever in Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, great defender, and the point guard, I forgot his name right now, but look, LeBron James is one of the greatest players to ever play. I think the greatest player ever. So, yeah.
We're going to see what he does. But anyway, that's what I wanted to put out there about the sucking squirrel nuts. If you guys hadn't already known and seen what we think about that. Anyway, Joe, you know I got to throw that out there when I get a chance, Joe, because that's just one of our themes. So, games tonight. Not much happening here, but I will go into some of these games here for you real quick, guys. You got Portland Trail Blazers. The Portland Trail Blazers are trailing the Milwaukee Bucks 58-72. The Bucks are 11-3, and the Trail Blazers are 5-10. So, Joe, you got that right. The Trail Blazers not looking very good right now, Joe.
No, they're not, and unfortunately for them, they're going against Giannis, who is another MVP candidate again. He puts up great numbers, and I think once LeBron leaves and once Kevin Durant leaves, Giannis Antetokounmpo, I can't even pronounce his name. Giannis is going to be one of the is going to take over the NBA. Let me just put it at that.
We got a video that the old Murphman was in, the crew of Sports Static. They put us in a video. So, Joe, I think I'm going to have to play this because Murphman put us in a video. Guys, if you don't know who Murphman is,
it's awesome.
Let me go ahead and show you guys. This is Murphman. Murphman comes on the show, and he picks teams. Last season, he went 14-2 picking teams. He's quite the guy. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to play. Murphman did us a solid, and when I say he did us a solid, made a video for us where we are actually have the Sports Static crew featured in a video. So let me go ahead. I'm going to play this for you guys. Give me 1 second because I have still. Where is that damn video? Oh, there it is. Sorry, guys. All right, guys. I'm going to play the video that Sportsman put together with the crew. With the crew. Here we go. Let me fade this out. And here we go. Oh, it's Joe. Got some moves, Joe. Oh,
there's John.
Oh, shoot. Dave was in there.
Man.
Murphman.
Murphman.
Dave's in there. Producer Dave's in. Look at Murphman got the moves. But don't think that Johnny ain't got the moves. Whoa!
That's awesome.
Oh, Joe, you got some moves.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That's cool. Me and Murph, man.
Dave! Producer Dave.
Hey.
Are you practicing?
Dave's in practice. This is your Sports Static crew, guys. Happy holidays. Man, Murphman, that was awesome. Thank you, Murphman, for putting that on there. That was seriously... Joe, was that not awesome?
That was awesome, man. I enjoyed that.
I mean, we got some
was cool.
fans that are actually putting some very cool stuff up there for us like that. Thanks, Murph, man. We also got to say a big shout out to Murph Man's mom for putting that up there because that was awesome. I mean, that was good stuff. So anyway, Joe, back to basketball. I'll say this to you, Joe. There's a team in the East that has super surprised me, and I'm shocked. I thought they were going to suck squirrel nuts, but instead, the Miami Heat were looking freaking good, Joe.
I completely agree, man. They're 10-3, and the guy I've really been telling everyone to watch out for is Tyler Hero, man. And the other guy, what's his name? I forgot his name, but that guy has been doing very well. I'm going to look up his name right now and get it back to you guys. But the Miami Heat are playing very well right now. I think Coach Spoelstra's doing very well as well. And they're going to go deep. And, John, let's go to some Miami Heat games together, man.
We should. I'll tell you what, just to let you guys know right now, I want to just round out the East for you real quick here so that you guys can know. Because here's the thing that's crazy, and I'll go ahead and put this up in the screen behind me here so you guys can get a good look at this. Here's what's crazy, guys, when you look at this, okay? The Boston Celtics at 11-3, the Bucks 11-3, the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference sitting there at 10-3. And I don't care who you are, nobody saw that coming. I mean, yeah, you might say you saw that coming. Raptors at 10-4. I'm surprised by that as well, Joe. I really thought the Raptors were going to take a bigger slide than that.
Right, and I mean, you could even say, is Kawhi Leonard, did he really bring the Toronto Raptors to be that great and really lead them to championship when they're
I think he pushed them over the edge because they were making playoffs before that, right?
Yeah, you're definitely right, but guess what happened? LeBron James leaves the East, and Toronto starts winning. That's kind of funny how that works.
It is, and I don't care where Kawhi was. If LeBron was still in the East, you got to go through LeBron. And that's just all the timing there where Kawhi went into Canada to play basketball. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, and the guy I was talking about for Miami, Kendrick Nunn. He's a rookie, and this guy's coming out of nowhere. So Kendrick Nunn and Jimmy Butler are really pushing the Heat over the edge.
Okay, so the 76ers, I'll tell you this right now, guys. I'm going to say this to you right now. I'm sorry, Philly. I'm sorry, Philadelphia. I'm sorry. I just don't think Joel Embiid can make it healthy. I just don't see it. There's an 82 games, okay? You can do load management if you want, but it's a big season now. Simmons hit his first three-pointer, Joe. Does that give hope to the 76ers?
Right in the corner, the bench was going crazy. The crowd was going crazy. Yeah, it's funny, man. If imagine if he could get a 3-point shot.
But Joe, you gotta shoot it in order to get the shot, and that's the problem I have with him. It's almost like you don't want to look like to have someone say air ball or what you want. But if you look at people, look at Westbrook. Westbrook throws the ball up a lot of times and misses a lot, but he keeps shooting the ball. You gotta just let it go, and that's where your shot becomes more developing game time shots. Forget practice shots. And Allen Iverson said it best, practice. I mean, you got to have game time shots. And, Joe, I don't know what you think about this, but what I'm saying is, especially if you have the lead already, throw the ball up. You got to shoot the ball, Joe.
Right, and we have to remember, look, Ben Simmons is a point guard.
Yes.
We know he's 6'10", but he's a point guard who can't shoot a three. You know, that's not going to work well in the NBA.
He's just got to put the ball in the air, Joe. He just has to forget about critics. He has to forget about if he doesn't make it. And let's just think of it like this right now. Let's just look at it like this. What if you're a 50% three-point shooter? I'll take a 50% three-point shooter, Joe, because if he puts up 10 three-pointers in the game and makes 5 of them, okay, he just gave us 15 points from three range, Joe.
Right, and not many people are 50% three-point shooters in the NBA. So, if Ben Simmons can hit some threes, I think the 76ers are going to be a very good team.
We don't know how good of a three-point shooter is.
He's not a good one, John.
He won't shoot the damn ball.
You're right. He won't shoot the ball because he can't shoot the ball.
It looked like he had a pretty good stroke last night with the one he put in.
Yeah, the 1 out of 500.
How many three-pointers do you think he's really taken? I should go into his stats I should look and see, because I would bet you that he hasn't even taken 10 this season, and he's already played. I mean, how many games have they played? They've played 14 games, and I bet he hasn't even taken 10, Joe.
I completely agree with you, John. So that obviously shows me he doesn't have much confidence in his three-point shot.
He has got to let it go, Joe. He's got to let that ball go. So anyway, guys, just letting you know some of the surprises in the East right there. I'm thinking, I've said this on our first show, I'm still thinking it, the Indiana Pacers are going to come on, Joe.
I agree, man. Once Victor Oladipo comes back in that lineup, we saw what they did last year. They're making a playoff push, and if Victor Oladipo comes back, that team could go far.
Well, Joe, they're 8-6 right now, okay?
Right.
And that's who I'm waiting, because we seen this guy really come to life and show us who he was last year. But Joe, they're 8-6 right now, but their last 10, they're 7-3. Okay, they're 7-3 right now. Their last 10 games. That's what I'm looking at. When they get Oladipo back, they are gonna be a freaking team that I think is a top competitor out of the Eastern Conference, Joe.
Hey, John, I completely agree with you. And Victor Oladipo is an all-star, a superstar in this league. So I agree. Once they get him back, this team's going to be very good. And I'm surprised they're 8-6 without him.
Yeah, me too. And the last 10, they're 7-3. Let me just go ahead and finish the Eastern Conference off by just going like this. Here's what happens when you suck. Okay? You're the New York Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Detroit Pistons, the Atlanta Hawks, the Washington Wizards, the Chicago Bulls. Right away when I'm telling you the Knicks have won 4 out of 11. Out of 15 games. And I can go with the first four teams I mentioned to you: the Hawks, the Pistons, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the New York Knicks. Don't think they're going to do anything this year, guys. Joe, am I lying?
I completely agree, John. And what a bad time to be a New York Knicks fan. I mean, you trade away Porzingis, who's
Trade the owner away.
I mean, really, you trade away Porzingis, who's your future. You don't get Zion Williamson in the draft. I mean, I would hate to be a New York Knicks fan. I would hate to be Spike Lee, John.
How would you like to be Draymond Green?
Yeah, I mean,
a big mouth that told Kevin Durant, "We don't need you, biatch." Joe, how would you like right now to be Draymond Green? And if you are Draymond Green with that big mouth, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's an attractive smile. You could sell toothpaste, they said. But with that big mouth, you're sitting at 3-13. What happened to the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, injuries happened to the Golden State Warriors. And
Well, what happened to the coach, Kevin Kerr?
Steve Kerr, yeah, I mean,
Steve, I'm sorry, Steve.
I mean, it goes to show that
How badass LeBron James is with a nobody team.
exactly, and it goes to show that your coach is only as good as the talent on your team.
And Draymond, just for measures to let you know right now, your team, exactly as it is right now, with a Kevin Durant would be winning. But you don't need him. You don't need him, Draymond. You don't need him. You thought that you were going to say that to him, and guess what? Dude packed his bags, okay? Dude packed his bags. Now, your exact team right now with a healthy KD is not 3-13. It's just not, Joe.
Right, and guess where Kevin Durant went? He went to the Brooklyn Nets, who are actually in the playoffs right now, with Kyrie Irving. So, can you imagine once Kevin Durant comes back next season, we're going to be talking about the Brooklyn Nets a lot.
If they can both stay healthy, and I'm talking Kyrie and KD, if they can both stay healthy, if Kyrie can make it through the season without having a meltdown.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the ifs to me, Joe.
And you're completely right. Also, if he could stay healthy as well as Kevin Durant. Look, Kyrie Irving is one of the best, most prolific scorers in the NBA. I don't think anyone can stay in front of him. I don't think anyone can cover him. But look, man, we all know he brings some drama. So if that starts happening, KD might leave again. He might team up with LeBron.
He should have done that in the first damn place.
Should have.
Get over yourself. You've got a couple championships. Now let's go ahead and dominate. But anyway, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. I like everything right now the way it is, all mixed up. Let me get to the West. If you're in the West, man, you've got a tough road in front of you because the West is freaking good, Joe.
The West is stacked. I'm looking at the standings right now. You know, you got the Lakers up there. The Nuggets. The Nuggets are a really good team, man, with Jamal Murray and all those other guys on the team. I mean, Donovan Mitchell's on the Utah Jazz, I'm sorry. But the Nuggets look really good. You got the Jazz in there. The Phoenix Suns are surprising. I mean, Devin Booker, wow, he's a very good player. But look, it's going to be, like you said, I know you love the Houston Rockets, John. It's going to be Houston, the Lakers, and the Clippers. And, you know, I think Dallas and Denver is also going to fight for a spot.
Well, let's run down it real quick. And you're right. I mean, here's what I've said about Houston. First and foremost, I think Lakers are the favorites.
Yeah.
After seeing Paul George last night, I'm like, holy ship high in transit. Because if you got a healthy Kawhi Leonard with a healthy Paul George on the floor at the same time, the Clippers are badass. And I'm sorry, but you remember that horrific injury that Paul George had.
Yep.
Most players would never come back from that, Joe.
Hey, I completely agree that, you know, his legs literally snapped in half. That was terrible.
It was horrible to see that. But even prior to that, when you seen prior to the break of his leg when he was with the Pacers, and you saw that matchup against LeBron, the Indiana Pacers, where they had that team with Horford on it, and they had a couple of That was a badass.
That was a
Pacers
badass team, and if you guys remember, they actually took LeBron to Game 7.
They did.
And
And LeBron gave him props, and he went up to Paul George and like, look, bro, yo, you got game. You got game. And we knew it then. And then, of course, over the summer, he snapped his leg, and we all seen how that went. To see Paul George back playing the way he is, I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say it right now, and I'm going to say it loud, crisp, and clear. I think Paul George is a top 5 player in the NBA right now, Joe.
yeah,
I know it's
I mean,
a lot for me to say, Joe.
Look, man, he definitely.
We could say he's the top 10 for sure, right?
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
top-
you could give me the top 10.
Top 10, definitely. I
Okay,
mean,
now when I come down, can I go top 7?
I believe so, man. You know, I got to go through. There's a lot of good
Let's
players
flirt
in the
with
NBA.
it. Let's flirt with
Okay,
it for
let's
a minute.
go through it right now.
I'll tell you right now, I got LeBron James at number 1. I'm sorry.
Okay, I agree.
Okay, number 2, right now, number 2 in the NBA as player, top player, okay? You know who I got to go with, Joe?
Don't go James Harden. He doesn't play defense.
I got to go James. When I'm talking about right now, score, you cannot stop him. He'll do a step back 3. He'll do a 2-step, and I know you want to say he travels. The guy will step back on a 3. He'll take it to the hole. He is a prolific scorer.
But he doesn't play defense.
In the NBA. He don't play defense. But you
So I
can't,
can't call him a
stop
top
the
player.
guy from scoring. And I got to call him. I got to take him at number 2 because if you got James Harden on your team right now, could you imagine this right now? Imagine this right now. Take James Harden and put him on the Lakers.
Oh, God. Well, that's not even fair.
I know it's not, and that's my point. Take James Harden right now and put him on the Golden State Warriors. I'm just saying, okay? I will take James Harden right now and place him on any team. And he's going to get them points every night, Joe. He's going to get them. You know why, Joe? Because nobody in the NBA can stop him from scoring. Who's your number 2, Joe?
That's a very good question. My number 2 is Kawhi Leonard. Because
I'll put Kawhi at 3. Tell me why Kawhi over Harden.
Kawhi Leonard plays defense, man.
He does.
And James Harden, look, he's a prolific scorer, but I cannot put you my number 2 guy in the NBA if you don't play both sides of the basketball.
And fair enough. And, I mean, I got Kawhi at number 3, okay? So, I mean, fair enough. And the defense, a lot of people say it. A lot of people, say that. So, Joe, who's your number 3?
My number 3 is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And
You're taking Giannis over James Harden.
yes. Look,
Holy
Giannis
whiz.
Giannis is averaging 30.
I get
Giannis
it.
is averaging 30 and like 10.
I get it.
So
I mean, I get it.
I have James-
Well-respected pick, but where's James Harden going to fall in
4.
here?
James Harden's my 4. And look, James Harden could be my 2, but the guy doesn't play defense. I told everyone his name should be James Harden because he doesn't play defense. Remove the D from his name.
If James Harden played defense and he was a defender like a Kawhi, like a Paul George, what would you think of him then?
And let me tell you this, guy. Yeah, he'd be very good. But let me tell you this: he takes the most shots out of any NBA player.
He does,
The most.
and he makes the most.
Okay, but I mean, with Westbrook and James Harden, I've just been saying all year, and I'm gonna keep saying it: you can't win a championship with both of those guys on your team.
And you could be very well correct with that. You got to go through the Clippers. You got to go through LeBron James and the Lakers. So here we are. If you want to know my number 4 pick, I guess I got to say this. I'm kind of thinking when I say this, I'm thinking of dominance. And I got to say this, man. I'll take Anthony Davis, man.
Exactly same as me.
I mean,
Yep.
the guy's he's freaking good. He is good. And if you want to know my number 5, I don't care what team I have, I'll take Paul George.
Paul George, that's a very good pick.
I mean, someone could say you could take John, you could take Kyrie. I'll tell you this right now. If I have a team I'm putting together, I got a chance to have Kyrie Irving or Paul George, I'm taking Paul George. The dude looked like a beast last night. I seen him last year. I know who he is. I'm taking Paul George, number 5.
That is a very good pick. I'm not picking Paul George. I might go with a little surprise.
I know you're going to go with the kid.
Luka Doncic. I'm going Luka Doncic. The guy's numbers are insane. You really think if Luka Doncic was not on the Dallas Mavericks, they'd be doing that well? No. He's averaging almost a triple-double with 30 points per game. Wow.
Impressive. The guy has a great shot. He can shoot the ball. He can drive to the hole. He's got a complete game. How is his defense, Joe?
Yeah, I do think his defense is decent. I think his defense is pretty good. I don't think he's that quick with his lateral quickness. But let me tell you something, he plays more defense than James Harden.
Well put. To finish that off, we'll stop at the top 5, Joe. Just was kind of wanting to see where, Joe. Would you put Paul George somewhere in the 10 between when I'm
Yes.
saying? Would you find a spot for him somewhere?
Yes.
He's a top 10 player.
Has to be. Clippers are one of the best teams in the league, and it's because of one of the reasons is because of Paul George.
Okay. I'll tell you, I'm excited about what's happening, guys. This is going to be a great NBA season. I am so happy for the breakdown of, what would you call the Golden State Warriors run?
Oh, wow. Just the Kings that fell off the throne. They fell off the mountain, and now they have, is it the worst record in the NBA, I think? 3 wins?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never thought I would say that, but Golden State has fallen off.
So check it out. The Portland Trail Blazers, they come back within 9. It's 70-79 Milwaukee. So they've come back within 9. So that could turn out to be quite the interesting game right there, Joe.
I do think it's going to be an interesting game, but I still think the Bucks are going to pull it out because of the greatness of Giannis.
Giannis is, if he can dominate late in the game, I think you're right. If he can dominate late in the game, I think you're right. Joe, are you still feeling right now? I think we need probably another couple weeks, maybe even till around Christmas time, to see how the Clippers jive. Now they got Paul George back. To start seeing how some of these teams, I'm still kind of waiting to see Houston Rockets jive and a little bit more of a jive. And also, of course, I'm waiting to see what happens with the Lakers in their jive, because the Lakers aren't fully healthy yet. So I'm kind of waiting to see what's going to happen there in the West till we can see the true team where they're showing their dominance, Joe.
Right, I completely agree. And what we've seen so far, and it's cool that Rondo actually came back in the lineup, and it seems, you took the pressure off LeBron to become the point guard, and I think Rondo's really, with his veteran leadership, really controlling the team and how it flows. So I think the Lakers are looking good right now. The Clippers, look, man, they almost gave the game away to the Boston Celtics. That Celtics team is really good.
Celtics look badass.
That team is
And you know
insane.
why? Because they don't have Kyrie there. I hate to say it, but Kyrie brought some dysfunction to that team.
Yep.
And they didn't like it. Whatever language he was speaking, they didn't like the language. They weren't jiving with them. They weren't gelling with them. They weren't shaking and baking. They weren't moving and grooving. It was just a bad vibe in Boston with Kyrie on the court with them, Joe.
I completely agree, and I think Kemba Walker is a way better fit for the Celtics, and he's been doing really well. I think that team plays really good defense as well.
Welcome to the show. Who do we got on the line?
This would be Frank E, a.k.a. Will Man.
a.k.a. Will Mann. Thank you for calling the NBA show. I didn't know you were a basketball guy. What do you got for us?
Dude, I want to know what y'all think about the Dallas Mavericks. Do we got to run this year, or do we
Yes.
still need more pieces for the program?
No, you got a legitimate run. You had, you got Luka scored 35 points in just 25 minutes the other night. And, I mean,
Luka.
they handed the Warriors their worst loss since 1973.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
That's
That's my
crazy.
boy.
I was watching that game, and it was embarrassing for them.
Here's a little fun fact for you. I told you how I became a Tampa Bay fan, right?
Right. You used to
Okay.
spend time down
So-
here.
Well, yeah, because my grandparents are from Tampa Bay. They took me down there so I could see Barry Sanders.
Yeah, buddy.
I grew up. My dad was a Bulls fan, and I'm like, well, grew up in the Michael Jordan era, and I was like, oh, I don't want to like the Bulls because everybody likes the Bulls because of Michael Jordan. So, like, I love Marquette basketball, but Marquette really didn't have anything. And I like Ohio State football, so I started watching Ohio State basketball just to see if they had anybody. And out comes this guy, Jim Jackson. I'm like, okay, wherever he goes to play pro ball, that's the team I'm going to follow. He gets drafted to the Dallas Mavericks. I'm like, I guess I'm going to be a Mavericks fan. And, yeah, well, I guess and, yeah, we saw how that turned out. Jim Jackson didn't last long. Jamal Mashburn didn't last long. Jason Gibbs didn't last long. He came back, and then he didn't last long. But we got Dirk Nowitzki out of all of it, so, hey, I guess that's
You
something
did.
for him.
And Dallas has had some great runs, man.
Yes. We even got now here's a little thing. We got my hometown boy. I grew up with his cousin, and I played basketball with him. The guy that got drafted to the L.A. Lakers, and he played for the Dallas Mavericks. He grew up about like 5-6 blocks away from me. Nick Van Exel.
Really?
Great player.
Yes, I went to high school with his cousin, and we were playing 3-on-3 basketball. And he goes, dude, my cousin's in town. And then Nick said, okay, we're gonna play 5-on-2. And Nick picked me and said, okay, it's me and him against you guys. I'm like, okay.
And you guys won, probably.
Oh yeah, we won because he goes, just throw it up there, I'll dunk on him. I'm like, okay.
That's a great story. So that's how you're a
But, yeah.
Mavericks fan. Who's your second team?
My second favorite basketball team would probably be the Bulls.
The Bulls?
Yeah,
Well,
just because because of Jordan
Right.
and Jordan Rodman's probably my Rodman and Barkley are arguably
Dennis
my
Rodman,
favorite
the
basketball
worm.
players.
Dennis Rodman, the worm.
Because I like big trash talkers. I really do. Because I'm a big wrestling fan. And I
Nothing
like guys
better.
who talk trash.
Nothing better than watching highlight reels of Dennis Rodman getting in people's head. And remember that clip where he's standing on the free throw line, turned sideways, staring the dude in the face? Just standing,
Oh my God.
staring him in the face.
I remember the year, what was it? What was it 72 and 10? Or was it 71 and 10?
For the
that-
Bulls, or
Yeah, the year that they went 72 and 10.
they were lucky to
And
have
they
him.
they played the Jazz, and Rodman was sitting there, and I think he was looking at John Stockton. He just sat there, smiled, and waved at him on the court. In play, it wasn't like the game stopped or anything. Like, dude's dribbling the ball. He stopped, smiled, and waved. Like, I'm like, are you freaking serious? This is why I love this man. He's so cocky and arrogant. I love that guy.
he was, and he actually locked
But-
down Karl Malone.
Yeah, he did lock down Karl Malone. Are you a LeBron James hater?
Yes, I can't stand the guy.
Why?
Why? Because, like everyone says, LeBron is the next big thing. He's the next big thing. You know what? Give me LeBron in his prime, and I'll take Jordan in his prime any day. Jordan in his prime could beat LeBron in his prime any day. I'm sorry.
Michael Jordan
Jordan is the GOAT. There is nothing like.
Right,
I'm sorry.
but you gotta know because you grew up, your dad watching those Chicago Bulls, and I know you've seen a lot of games with them. The supporting cast that Michael Jordan had. Imagine if you put LeBron James with that supporting cast.
Yeah.
I look at it that way.
But
I
Will,
don't
man,
know.
you are right.
Like
in
I
the
said,
fact-
I've never liked LeBron.
But
I've
tell me
never
why
did.
you haven't liked him. Is it because of the comparison and you're a Jordan fan? Or is it, what is it that, I mean, you got to give the guy props. He made it to the finals 8 years in a row.
Hey, I give credit when credit is due. Because like I said, I'm from Wisconsin, and I think dealing with Packer fans my whole life being from Wisconsin is part of the
guy.
reason why I hate the Packers so much.
Poor guy.
And, like, oh, God, like, I hate the Packers. I can't stand them.
Aaron Rodgers.
Literally despise them. And, like, if you go to a Packer fan, like, hey, man, you lost. Yeah, well, we got more championships than anybody. I'm not talking about that. You lost last night. Yeah, well, we're
that
the
actually
most
sounds
winning
like Boston
I'm not-
fans.
Oh, yeah, it does.
I'm not talking about your championships. I'm talking about last night. Did you win or lose? But we have more Super Bowls. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, that is what I deal with when it comes to Packer fans. And I
Right.
despise it.
Right,
But I respect the history out of the team.
right.
You know, and like, now I'm going to get sentimental. I'm going to get real sentimental. My father is a diehard Packer fan.
Right,
He's fighting leukemia.
right.
Okay, and I love my dad to death, and I hate the Packers with a complete passion. And I told my father this because he's fighting leukemia.
Right.
I don't know how much time he has left in this world. But I told him,
I'm
I said,
sorry
Dad,
to
I
hear
found a place that has big and tall jerseys because I'm a big guy. I don't give a rat's ass if anybody knows. Oops, pardon my language. I dropped the A-bomb.
We won't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. But I found a place that has big and tall jerseys. And I'm like, I'm getting myself a Mike Evans jersey. I'm getting myself a couple Bucks jerseys. But, Dad, I'm getting myself a Brett Favre jersey.
Nice.
The only reason,
Yeah.
and I'm getting myself a Brett Favre jersey, and the only reason I'm getting it is when you're gone, and I'm having those days where I miss you. I
Right,
can put it on and know that you're with me.
right.
My
That's-
dad started crying because Brett Favre was my dad's favorite player.
And I
You know
can't
what I mean?
blame him if you're a Packers fan. Yeah, number 4. I mean,
Dude, like, I respect the hell out of Brett Favre. That man, oof. Don't get me wrong, when Brett Favre left and when he went to the Jets, there was talk he was coming to Tampa Bay. I was like, oh, please, Lord, let
I
this
wish.
happen.
yeah.
It's
that
wrong,
was-
I'm not going to lie. I'm like, oh, please, Lord, let this happen.
Well, if
Brett
they wouldn't have
Favre
had the
from Tampa.
bounty, if they wouldn't have had the bounty game on him when he was with the Vikings, he probably would have been able to play another year. He might have even made it to the damn Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, like, my dad, love him to death. I told him, I'm like, I'm getting a Packer jersey just for you, and I'm only going to wear it because I love you, and and it's for you. And my dad just started crying. So that's,
It's a great
all right, I
story.
had my sentimental soft moment. Nothing else said about that. Let's get on and talk about some.
Let me ask you a question before we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
At 35 years old, LeBron James playing the way he's playing, are you impressed by that or not?
Let me tell you, I'm going to be 110% honest. I haven't watched much basketball
Okay.
over, since Jordan retired. Like, if I catch a game, okay. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
It's a different game.
When the Mavericks were in the finals, I watched that whole entire finals because the Mavericks were in the finals.
Dude, you
and
need to
they
start
won.
watching some basketball now. Come on, man.
But like, I watched the finals this year because I was like, dude, the Raptors are in the finals. It's gonna
Right.
be good.
Right.
So I watched the finals last year. Or actually it was this year. You know what I mean?
Right.
But anyway, but like, it's not like football for me. I go out of my way for football. I go and I'll watch any game. I don't care. Football is everything for me. And baseball, I'll go out of my way to watch a Cubs game. There, I'm a Cubs fan too.
Wow. Man,
I'm a
you're
Cubs
spread
fan.
all over the damn map.
I'm a Cubs fan. I root for the Blackhawks. I have a soft spot for the New Jersey Devils. That's a long story.
That's better than having a hard spot for him.
Well, my late girlfriend,
Oh.
she died October 11th of 2012. She always said, dude, you realize that if she was alive right now, she'd sit there and be like, ha, I can count. I died on 10, 11, 12. Anyway,
Wow.
she told, I taught her, I was teaching her stuff that I liked, and she's like, she had a deep passion for hockey, and she was a diehard Devils fan. She's like, I'm gonna teach you about hockey. She died before hockey season started.
Oh man.
She was a Devils fan.
Memory.
Well, the first game I ever got to watch was a Blackhawks game, and I saw Patrick Kane get in 2 fights. I'm like, well, I like this dude. And I started rooting for the Blackhawks, but I have a soft spot in my heart for the Devils because of her.
Yeah.
So,
I like how you got the stories behind the teams that you follow. It's good, and it's a good way to follow teams, man. You got a little history there. It's good. It's great.
well, the Cubs, there's only one story behind it, and it's all about the greatest second baseman ever to play the game, and that's Ryne Sandberg. I don't care what anybody says. Greatest second baseman ever. I got my Sandberg jersey. I wear it every season. I don't care.
The greatest second baseman ever was who?
Ryne Sandberg.
Joe, Joe, are you a baseball guy? I never really got that.
Yeah, I do watch some baseball, and I agree with him.
Okay. Well, hey, man, I appreciate your phone call on both of our shows today, which is a new record. We got to get out of here and close it down so we can go over to Johnny's Tap House and get some burgers and finish watching the end of that football game.
Yep.
But, hey,
I'm
make sure
watching
you
it right
get up.
now. It's a tie game.
What's
Is
the
it?
score,
It's
man? What's the
halftime.
score?
What's the score?
10-all.
10-all.
10 all.
man.
Nice. Cool. All right. Hey, make sure you catch us on the 10:30 football show, man. Appreciate your phone call.
Will do. All right, man. Take care.
Later. Joe, we got this guy. Joe, this guy follows teams based on stories through transitions in his life and things that's happened. And so he really actually has quite the stories behind the teams he follows.
Yeah, I like it. I like his stories, and he obviously knows a lot about sports, so it's good to see.
He does. But we
Good to
got to
see.
get him back to watching the NBA because if he hasn't watched the NBA in that long, it's a different game right now, Joe.
Yeah, right. He might have different opinions, so
He may.
definitely got to watch the NBA, man.
All right, Joe. So let's get over to Johnny's and get our damn
Yeah, man,
burgers.
I'm
I don't even know if
hungry,
are you
hungry.
getting a burger tonight, Joe? Or are you sticking with your wings? Come on, man.
All right, I'm going to get a burger tonight because I got wings the past, I don't know how many weeks.
Right. All right, guys. I'm going to get some cattle to producer Dave. I'm coming to you on camera right now. What are you ready to go get a burger, producer Dave?
I'm actually ready to go. I'm trying to wait for us there now.
Right into the mic for us, Dave.
Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah,
Dave.
I'm ready to go, guys.
You ready to go? Dave, what are you going to get, a burger?
Yep. You know
All
it.
right. Guys, there's producer Dave. Wave to us, Dave. We'll see you over there. All right,
Yeah.
Joe, in closing, my friend.
In closing, man, speaking of the NBA, the Lakers and the Clippers are going to battle out, as well as Houston, the Nuggets, and the Mavericks, man. So, NFL, can't wait to get over to Johnny's, and I still think the Colts are going to win it all.
Joe, you threw me. You totally made me. You threw me so off when you just said that. You still think the Colts are going to win it all?
Well, tonight. They're going to win it tonight.
Oh.
Not the whole thing, and they're going to win it tonight.
I was like, holy
I
shit! I
did-
in transit.
Hey, Dad, wow. Hey, John, I still think that the Colts win that division.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. But when you said you win it all, you scared the ship high in transit out of me, Joe. All right, Joe, I'll see you over at Johnny's Tap House here in a couple minutes. Let me close this out for us, Joe. Guys, thank you for joining the new NBA show Thursdays. Every Thursday was supposed to be 8:45. We didn't start until 9 o'clock because we were a little bit late getting on the show today. But join us Sunday, 10:30 a.m. for the NFL show. Sunday, 10:30 a.m. for the football show. We're going to talk fantasy picks. We're going to talk DraftKings. Everything you can think of, we're going to talk about. And make sure, guys, if you have not yet done it, make sure you're looking at this lower thirds right here and you're liking our page and showing some appreciation back to us. We put a lot of time and work into this show. We want to do it so that you guys enjoy it. We enjoy it. Time to go get some burger, guys. Peace out. We will see you 10:30 I said, Sunday morning for the NFL football show. Guys, enjoy the rest of the game with the Texans at the Colts. Peace out, my friends.